The pith is lovely. Oh look, 55. That will kill someone. Oh shimmy, yo shimmy. Hi, yeah, how are you? This one's gonna be a little bit different. Well, we're still gonna cook a recipe from this book here. This recipe here, which is called Koshari? Kushari. It's an Egyptian dish, but if you think biryani, it's a very similar thing to what this would turn into, but this is Ottolenghi stuff. What I really want to do is open your eyes to recipes. Most dishes always have a structural component, right? So for this dish, it is your lentils and rice. Just call that structure. And then you got flavour components. What would more commonly be known as ingredients that are not necessarily gonna make the dish go crap, but they will change the flavour of it, obviously. Your spices, right? Spices and fresh things. So if you really wanted to fuck about with the structure, then the things that you could do is look at the lentils and the rice that you're using. Now, for this one, it just says green, and then for this one it just says basmati. So then all you have to do is think about the properties of these two things. What are they doing in the dish? Could you put something in a little bit later, i.e. a different lentil, a different bean? Abso-fucking-lutely. Nothing's gonna change. Basmati, a very fluffy rice. There are hundreds of different types of rice that I can't even name. If you wanted to keep things simple, don't change these two things, basmati and that, and you can follow the method. The thing with recipes where people get thrown off is they look at them and they go, I ain't got that. I ain't got that. Fair enough. Not everyone's gonna have a massive dry store where they can have an absolute party. If you think here, Flavour Town, the stock calls for chicken stock, okay? There is no reason you can't use a beef stock, a veg stock, a lamb stock, a fish stock. Absolutely no reason. Spices, if you look at it, it's very sort of Middle Eastern spices, nutmeg, cinnamon, that is it. So if you really wanted to, you know, you can throw in any flavours you want here. Cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, all of those things. Think of the flavours that you enjoy, take this and push it somewhere else. So that's basically what I wanted to explain. So we're gonna do with this, what is it? It's cooked, so you have the rice, and then you add the tomato sauce, and then it says to serve it with a beef meatball. So I'm gonna do a mixture. There is a Swedish meatball that I have been taught by a Swedish person, so therefore I feel like I should do that quite well. But there's also another technique, which I can't remember the name of the person. I've seen it on the internet. If I find it before this is edited, I'll let you know. Basically what you can do is make a really thick chicken stock, you bloom it with some gelatin, it sets hard, you push it through a sieve, and you get these little fatty nodules that run through. Extra moist. Love moist. So Swedish meatballs with this kind of like chicken thing. Make sense? So we're gonna do these, talk about it. Anyway, over and out, let's get cooking. I've got some nondescript stocky jelly cube things here. One I'm gonna long out. I use long out a lot, long out. Say for example you make like a tomato sauce and the tomato sauce has got too intense. You can long it out. You just put a bit more tomato in there that's like fresh and just cook it out for a little bit. It makes it a little bit longer. I hope that makes sense. This one, I'm gonna make quite short. So I'm gonna make this like short and punchy. So I just got some gelatina. I literally don't know how much to use, but it needs to be warm. So bung it in. It'll probably set low, so I'm just gonna put that in the fridge. First things first, in the cookbook it says, oh, you should do the sauce first. So I'm not gonna mess with Ottolenghi and I'm gonna do the sauce first. I'm gonna try and follow the recipe. I'm terrible at these kind of things because I get too excited. Oh, fuck. 60 ml of olive oil. She's a lot of olive oil. Garlic, chilies, 2 minutes. Right, garlic and chili. Oh, so excited. I love cooking. Wow, they're dry. Whoever says 2 garlic, I mean, it normally means about 16 or 17. Anyway, crushed. In you go, mate. Enjoy. 2 hot chilies, de-seeded and finely diced. Always learn something. Every day's a school day. The seeds aren't the hot bit. The pith is. Get in there. Right, you go on there. 2 minutes. Okay, now it's saying just chop some tomatoes. 8 ripe tomatoes. I've got 5. Let's go 3. So just roughly chop them. There's another funny story while we're here. Story time of Odell. I was working in a restaurant once doing tomato concasse. For those of you who don't know concasse, it's basically where you do this. Take this bit out, and you're left with like a petal once you've taken the skin off. And I was doing it for a party, and I just closed my eyes. I was daydreaming. I'd had a mound of the tomatoes, went funk. Took the tip of my finger off. Had to throw away all the tomatoes because no one wants Odell's finger in them. I've sort of semi-burnt the chilies a little bit because I was being an absolute idiot. So tomatoes are going to go in. Then it says water, yummy. And then it says apple cider. Just use some of my own. You can now get this on my website if you want some. How much does it say? And then it says ground cumin. Right, bring this to the boil. Lovely stuff. Right, let's do the old meatballs. I literally don't know how much to use. It'll probably set low, so I'm just gonna put that in the fridge. Nope. That gelatine's probably not worked. Fantastic, this is really exciting. But these meatballs will still be delicious because there are a couple of things we can do. So we're gonna dice up, I'm gonna do half an onion. Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't it? So I'm probably gonna do a whole onion because I'm gonna lose half of it through this. Oh, because I like onions, I can't live. Pop this into a pan, a little bit of lube. Oh, get that on the go. The one thing that makes the meatball super moist is you take some bread. I'm actually gonna chuck this in because I don't care. I don't wanna waste it. Now this is just some whole milk. You don't want this too wet. If it's too wet, then your meatballs won't hold together. So just sort of just cover, or not just cover, sort of just cover. Just pour some in to the bloody bowl until they're not covered. Because what will happen is as they soak, you can kind of like fold it round and they will get soft. Pop that to one side. Right, you're bubbling away, you're bubbling away, you're bubbling away. I've lost myself. Some coffee. So basically, where have I put my lentils? Over here. Lentils, you're just gonna cook in a pan. You've got the last bit of old Straker's butter. Stick a knob in there, go on mate. All right, butter is melted. Everything's happening. Washed rice goes into the butter. Got nutmeg, cinnamon, pinch of salt, fresh ground black pepper. Oh God. Cover with chicken stock, you know the drill. Right, you go there, crank you up, bring this to the boil, we'll cover it and then we'll let it simmer. I just want to say that I am actually a chef. I've been working in restaurants since I was like 15 and I think I've just sort of like stepped out of the world of like following any form of like structure and I've really stitched myself up with life. Right, beef mince, I went 20%. Pork mince, I just went pork mince. And here we go, look, here's your breadcrumbs. As you can see, it's kind of like combined into like this mush. Oh, I love the sounds of cooking. Right, dirty hands, I'm not contaminating. Oh God, he goes around, fingers everything. It's semi-setting. So what should have happened, it should have set like a gel and then you push it through a sieve. To be fair, there's a couple, it's gone hard at the bottom. That's what it should have gone like. Then you press this through a sieve. It doesn't work, does it? How did he do it in his video? Oh God. Anyway, you get in there, mate. Flavour, innit? Good pinch of salt. Loads of black pepper. These are just the softened down onions. Just give those a mix through, let it chill for a bit, then we'll come back. When cooking rice, I had an Uncle Roger having a pop at me once.
Rice cooker, not just for rice, it's multi-purpose.
He was like, rice cooker's not just for cooking rice, it's for doing all these other things, right? But if you don't have a rice cooker, like this dish, how do you cook the perfect rice? And all you have to think of is mimicking what a rice cooker would do. So a rice cooker, what it does is it brings things up to temperature. You put cold rice, cold water in, brings things up to temperature to a boil and then reduces it right down to a low heat to a simmer. So keep your rice low and then it'll go 15 minutes and then she'll be done, turn it off, let it steam, wonderful times. I'll just show you this, look, she's steaming away, not even boiling. I haven't got a lid, so I just put that on. If you want to be really fancy, you can put a tea towel over it, make sure it's tight so it doesn't drip in your sauce. Put that there, fold that round, and then you've got like a really good seal. So cookie, 15 minutes, lovely. So I know what you're thinking, oh, he's made such a lot of mix just for one person. The thing what you can do in life is be prepared for the future. There's this mad thing in the kitchen called a freezer. So what you can do is spend your time making something delicious, i.e. this, and then freeze them, so you're ready to go. So then you can focus on other things, like if you've just made some delicious meatballs, you can be like, oh, I love, I've got some delicious meatballs in the freezer, what should we do with it? Let's go IKEA style and do like a gravy. I'm gonna do 6 big old bad boys, and then the rest, I'm gonna freeze. Meatballs, a little bit of oil. Here is the rice. Can you see this? Oh, she looks lovely up there. So this is the rice, steamed beautifully. I put the lentils in, just chucked them in. Lovely, we'll have a little taste of that in a minute. And while I was doing that, I read the instructions again, I got it completely wrong. Here's our little tomato sauce. You can see how much that's reduced down by. Once the balls are cooking, we're gonna have a little taste and sort things out. Okay, so balls go in. Hear that sizzle? Lovely, that's what you want. And into there, what you want is a nice big bit of butter to get that nice Maillard reaction. Nice little burnt nutty taste. So if you cook with oil and butter, rough science is that the oil will bring up the burning point of the butter and allow you to cook with it over a nice high heat. And then we'll fry those off until they go nice and brown. Just shuffle you there. Have a little taste of your tomato sauce. Oh! Now, what I feel that needs, and this may only be me, is it's sort of like lacking a bit of roundness. So I'm only going to put a little touch in. This had the vinegar, which was quite sharp. It had the tomatoes, which were potentially a little bit sharp. Once it's all reduced down, it kind of just becomes a bit meh. A little pinch of salt, mixy mixy. You are wonderful. Rice, looking great. Let's just have a big mouthful. A little touch more salt. That is good to go. Balls are cooking. Give them a little flip. My ear. I like this one. When cooking these meatballs, right, get yourself a little Thermopen because these will be softer than usual. Stick it in the middle. If it is over 72 degrees, you are totally fine. 77, 78 degrees, absolutely fine. Test the other ones, some of them may not have had heat. Oh look, 55, that will kill someone. Make sure they're all evenly cooked. And also think about that thing that I always talk about, which is residual cooking temperature. Something may be 60 degrees when you stick the Thermopen in. By the time it's rested in a warm pan, it will come up to temperature. If you're not confident with cooking, get yourself a Thermopen and you'll be all right. Right, so to plate this up, I'm just gonna go rice in the bottom. I'm gonna take these 4 into the sauce. And I'll take that one as well. Woo! And then just spoon this on. This is like a Middle Eastern posh meatballs, isn't it? A bit of sauce over the top. All the haters are gonna be going, oh, you should have peeled your tomatoes. Grow up, mate, can't be arsed. Working the textures, bit of crispy onions on top, a little bit of freshness. If you really want to, you've got all of this deliciousness on here. Drazzle that over the top. Oh, shiitake mushrooms. Yummy. So as the old saying goes, proof is in the old proverbial pudding. So there you go, there's the book, there's the picture. Mine looks nothing like it. Fuck me, it's my kind of flavours. It is so good. Soft, amazing meatball, slightly acidic, tangy sauce with an aromatic, beautiful rice. That is fucking 12 out of 10. You are one naughty little boy. 12 out of 10, hope you learned something. Fuck me, that's a long one. So I'm just going to talk about them. This is a book by Samin Nosrat, I hope I pronounced that right. Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. It is an amazing book. I'm not even getting paid to talk about these books. These are just my collections. If you want to understand the basics of cooking, flavours, salt, how to cook with acid, how to cook with heat, all those things, then this book is just unbelievable. And it's beautifully illustrated. This book, I wouldn't necessarily go in here and go, oh, what do I fancy for dinner? And then go in here and go, yeah, I'll have that, because I won't. What I would do is I'll be going, right, I want to talk about a topic and I want to understand it a little bit more. So I'll go to this page and it'll be like acids of the world, the most iconic things are acid. Because what I always talk about is flavours within food, and now this one is very good to understand that. The old Jamie Oliver classic, you can't go wrong. If you want to cook a recipe and you just don't really want to go, oh God, I want to cook something complicated, I just want to cook something nice, you go to this. I probably did this when I was about 10. I was rattling through these and they were just amazing. I actually did this one. Oh, picture of me naked. No, it's not. So this one, tagliatelle with saffron, seafood and cream. It sounds fancy, but it is so easy. Simple, easy, decent cooking. So this one, I can't even pronounce their names for a start. Peter Coquit, Bernard Lahus and Johan Langenbeck. This is a book that I think Heston Blumenthal did the foreword for, but it's basically all about how your flipping brain deals with flavours, taste, perception, all of this kind of stuff. So if you really want to geek out on food, this book is kind of like takes it to another level. Sometimes I just sit there and stare at the pages and pretend I've taken it in, but it's pretty, it's pretty. Now I just had the old Swedish in-laws over, Nicholas Ekstedt, The Nordic Art of Analogue Cooking. So this is the kind of thing that you would go, oh my God, this is daunting. Read it, immerse in it. Don't think you're gonna go to the shops and pick stuff up and do it. This is one that you'll go, I want to learn a new technique, I want to be influenced, I want to be creative, I want to get excited about doing something different. Beautiful. What a book. Spices and Spandex. What a great name of a book. This book, I would say, is one of those ones that goes, oh, why don't I just sell everything and just go travelling? I mean, I haven't even seen a recipe yet. It's just beautiful pictures of him having a great time, which is really depressing. But then you get to a page and you're like, oh, Farag's mum's mashy crombie. So then when you start sort of like looking at all of these things, you'll be influenced. You'll be like, if you get inquisitive about food, which I always say, go and have a little rummage, go and have a little look and go, oh, what is that? Let's pick an ingredient from here that I've never heard of. Yep, heard of all of those. But yeah, that's a book that I would say, you know, I'm not recommending these, go and buy them. I'm just saying this is a part of one that's like an influence book to kind of get you excited. When you look at some recipe books and you go, great, I'm just gonna cook a fucking spag bowl. Fantastic, does the job. But this is the kind of one that will make you go, ooh, that's exciting. let's go. Oh, Kenji Lopez. Now this book is like, again, it's not a kind of book that you'll go, oh, I'm gonna go and cook a recipe. It's like, I want to understand food on another level. Go to any page and it will give you something. Temperature conversions, great, everyone needs to know that. 145 extra moist poultry. But then you go in here and it'll be like, you know, the simplest of things, garlicky sauteed spinach. Basically, gives you everything. How to do a poached egg. But giving you the knowledge behind it to sort of make informed understandings. So this is what my videos try and do. I try and talk about like how to make things simply but done well. That is a brilliant book if you want to learn. Anyway, fucking hell, how long have we been? 25 minutes just chatting about books.